All right, I'm back again with another vlog for Dr. Johnson's Intro to Archives class. We once again attended a session at UNC on Friday, October 19th. We, on this date, looked at a collection from the Carolina seminars from the year 1991 to the year 2005. A lot of information that it held was about various think tanks and things that were discussed about various issues like ethics, aggression, and violence among youth. It was like a complete, just deep dive into different things that I guess a group of intellectuals decided to come together and speak about at various seminars and things. So these were all the documentations from that collection we noted and made records of. The research value was a mixed bag, which is what we seem to be running into a lot with everything we do. But we got it done, came up with a pretty good abstract, I think. And then we moved on. So from that point, Patrick Cullum and Rebecca Stubbs, a fellow Eagle, they took over for a moment, and Patrick went first, and he discussed his career. He's a film preservationist, so he talked about all the collections and things that he had worked with over the years, and one of them that he had samples of for us to look at was the Durham Herald Company photograph collection from 1945 to 2002. There were a lot of interesting pictures and things that he shared that we were able to put our hands on and actually look at. He also gave a presentation that was pretty in-depth about all of the ways that he would gather the information and gather the photographs, preserve the photographs, how they found them in some old Coca-Cola building here in Durham, and transported them in their personal vehicles back to UNC so they could begin putting them into the archives. They used information that was already on some of the packets that were storing photographs and negatives and things of that nature. And they actually tried to just build upon what was there to make it a less daunting process of reorganizing them, so to speak. So they maintained some kind of original order, I guess, so to speak, for the most part. And some things ended up in sports collections and things of that nature. Talked about how he did series and sub-series also. How important it was to have an eye for detail when it came to the photographs and all the materials they had. He also talked about how 98.9% of it was labeled. So like I said, it was already kind of organized, and it was just less that they needed to put an emphasis on as far. They just needed to maintain some of that order and make it better for any archivists or researchers that would come to the archives to explore it. We had lunch. Lunch was very interesting. I thought it was a really good discussion on diversity and inclusion. Tim Shearer, Doug Dissenhouse, probably butchered that, Monica Figueroa, they all came and spoke and had a conversation about the importance of diversity at UNC. Sounds like they're being very proactive, but based on the speaking engagement we attended Sunday at Central, Starkey, I believe was his name, Dr. Starkey from UNC. He painted a slightly different picture, but hopefully they're making real progress. But it was a good lunch. It was a fascinating discussion. I really was taken aback by the way they made it sound they were intending to really address certain issues. That's kind of what I'm about, so hopefully they're going to follow through on some of that stuff. When we came back from lunch, Rebecca spoke about how she had aligned her research for her thesis with the archival the photography archives at UNC. She had found a family that she was going to research up in Black Mountain based on some of the pictures and things that she had looked at while working at UNC. And then at the end, Ann Wells, the audio-visual archivist, she talked about audio-visual material, things of that nature. That the majority of the collection that was there was a Southern folk art collection at UNC. That was the majority of the AV materials. She tried to play some music that was from the archive, but it didn't play. Her way of going about things was pretty similar to Patrick's. So it just was more based about recordings and things of that nature. All in all, very interesting, fascinating day. Really was engaged. Everybody was pretty interesting. We got one more to go. Looking forward to it. Signing off.